Hello everyone, and welcome back to Roots of Pacha. I was playing it by myself the other day and I had like such a fun time that I wanted to play it again. Hello audio, how's it going? I'm like late, I'm super late. Reasons. I have a poppy soda, except my nails are growing out, so it's really hard to open them, so y'all can appreciate my struggles. Like, and it's because I don't want to, my nails are kind of thin, so if I bend them too much on the corners, they'll tear. So I'm like trying to get the tab with the edge of my finger. Not too bad. It's been a day. I found out I'm going to be alone on Friday, which means I'm in charge of the windows, the phones, like everything. And that's like never very fun. And then it's just a really long day when you're the only person in that part of the building and it's so stupidly quiet, but you can't get up because the phones are like ringing. And then it's like every time you need to go to the bathroom, you have to go and like find somebody from a different department. You're like, can you come watch this? And like, yeah. Tengo agua, pero quiero jugo. A mí también, pero me gusta agua también. I like the water, but like, the poppy stuff is really good. It's just really hard for me to open right now. Ha! I got it. Like, I can't use my nail at all. I have to use, like, the side of my fingers. But I got it. This one is strawberry lemon. Ah, refresh. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? Agua es muy buena. ¿Bueno? Bueno. ¿Qué? Agua es... ¿Cómo se dice? Masculine. It is very good. This is my second favorite one. Okay. You can see I was playing mine. But yeah, the strawberry lemon is my second favorite one. The raspberry rose is my first. Then probably the ginger lime, and then the cherry limeade, and then the orange. ¿Cómo se dice soda? ¿Es refresca? You want yogurt? Yogurt? See? I like really, really cold water, and if it's not like ice cold, I won't drink it. Cause I'm picky like that. I remember when I was working at the daycare and the kids were like, Miss Madison, I don't want to drink my water. I'm like, you have to drink your water. Like, come on, you guys, it's good for you. And then they're like, why aren't you drinking your water? I'm like, because it's warm. And then after a while, I stopped being so picky with the kids, because like the kids drank water like fountain water, and I'm like, ugh. Like I cannot drink fountain water. It tastes gross. And I'm like, you know what? Like, okay, child, I understand your pain. Okay, but there was that one water fountain in high school that just had the like most delicious water, and it was upstairs over by the history classes. Like, that was the best fountain water. For some odd reason, just that one. Water's so good for you, though. I like drinking plain water, except for the other... Actually, the last couple days. When I eat apples, I hate drinking water because I hate the flavor that, like... It's like this bitter, weird, like... I don't know, it's gross. That sounds good. I like apples and yogurt. For some odd reason, that's like my go-to combo. She has made a discovery with the minerals that we found in the cave. I don't do the races because I'm absolutely terrible at them. Holy crap, she gave me 4 guanaco fur? That's a lot. Okay, so we need to talk to Akre. Oh, where is she? Okay. Had to find the building she was in first. Okay, growing. Ooh. Those are done. Sunflowers. What kind of yogurt is it? That would really just depend on what type of yogurt it is. I go green. I don't know if I've gotten cutscenes with my personal character. That was amazing. Oh no, I have gotten cutscenes. Thanks. Joe, you're the best. You must be the best musician in the whole world. Don't think flattering me will get you out of practice. It's just you're so talented. Can't argue there. Aww. That's sad, because Iban's actually a really good... Oh, yeah, see. Oh, Iban, you're good too. Okay, but strawberries. Strawberries would be peak. Jawad, can you show us how you play like that? Of course, but first you need to do a few more practice drills. Oh, right. She's all mad. Are you okay? Of course, why wouldn't I be? I think you forgot I have a cave lion totem, so little things like that don't bother me. Your face says otherwise. Your face says otherwise. You can go now. Was it like the wrong thing? Should I just have said like, hey, you did great? Also, hello, Disnerd. Or audio, you could do something crazy and do apples and yogurt. Or the apples and the strawberries with the yogurt. Make like a little fruit salad. Ada always says I'm too serious with my rocks, but I knew Copper was hiding something. So first I warmed them up a bit. And then when they weren't looking, I hit them with my rock hammer. Oh, jeez. Kroll will add a better anvil to our station, and then I'll be able to make new tools with these metals. Come browse the new tools when he's done. Idea, hammering. Okie dokie. I know I have some other... Is this what I can do? It just is missing resources. 30 stone, 10 obsidian. Do I have obsidian? I was like, where's my house? Okay. Oh yeah, I do. So it was 30 stone? Okay, I like the slider in this game that lets me just like actually pick how much I want. Oh my gosh! Yeah, just make a fruit salad at this point. You have so much fruit. Okay, I think I'm actually out of inventory space. Oh. I always forget. I always forget which buttons do what. I think I like wrongfully assumed that she'd be in here. Have you ever noticed that the river gets lower in summer and then higher in the spring when it rains? The water is going into the sky somehow. You know, the man's onto something. Okay, where is she? Okay, she's next door. Don't you just love that? As soon as you get groceries, like, there's so many possibilities that you're just like, I'm just gonna make something random. I do that. It's a be cozy inside kind of day. Yes, I can do that. This is perfect. I'll chat with Jag and see if he has any advice for keeping this fire under control. Okay, and then the other one, Juke. Do I have fur? I think I do. 6 fur, 8 bone. Because I think that's what I was looking for, was fur. Okay, so... 8. Because I think I was keeping... Ah, yes, boar fur. Okay, so 6... fur. Thank you for the gifts. I can actually make something. Okay, and then now we just gotta find him. Who was it? It was Juke. Okay, so he's all the way down. You know what? I'm gonna take this with me. I'm gonna sell all this. I'm rolling in the dough. I like the setup of this game because I never feel like super pressured to do things. It's just like, oh yeah, like just kind of like steady as you go. We're not racing because I'm absolute poop at it. Like, I don't even do it on my personal one either. I'm just like, no. I love gloomy weather. It's so cozy. Oh my gosh, that's a mood. Yay! This is perfect. I'll chat with Garrick and see what we can come up with. Because Garrick's the brains of this operation. Okay. Well. Now we're just kind of, free-range chickens. That's actually what one of my coworkers calls herself. And so when anybody comes looking for her, they're like, have you seen her? Like, I need some office supplies. I'm just like, she was like, she wasn't in her office. Like, no. I was like, oh, she's being a free-range chicken. Like, she's somewhere in the building. Never quite seem to know where. Okay. Just Guanaco. Did we not... We haven't bred the bison? Well, this must be remedied. Because I need a baby bison. I'm really curious what a bison would be like as a mount. Could you imagine, like, instead of riding, like, an ostrich or, like, a boar or something, you're just, like, riding this giant freaking buffalo thing? That would be a little crazy. What is the true difference between a buffalo and a bison? I don't even know. Can anybody answer this question? Is anybody a budding scientist? Because I have no idea. Because I've kind of heard the terms used, like, interchangeably, but I don't know. So, Disnerd, when you were spoon-feeding the Bambina, what was it? Because I'm like, she's only 4 months old. I didn't think she was supposed to be having, like, food yet. Actually, what is today? She's not even 4 months old yet. I was asking what the mixture Disnerd was feeding the Bambina earlier. Okay. So long as it's doctor approved, that's fine. Because I know that some people are against it, but other people are, like, for it, so I'm like, I don't know. But if the doctor's approved, then that's good. She's getting chunky. She's so big. Every time I see her, I'm like, she just gets more and more perfect, and I absolutely love her. And you guys are probably gonna hate me later on for spoiling that baby rotten. Like, she's gonna come to Thea's house, and we're gonna make cupcakes, and we're gonna make brownies, and... I'm gonna say 14 pounds? That seems a little heavy. Like, but I think last time she was, like, 11 pounds, so it doesn't seem that, like, outlandish to say 14. Huh. Okay, well, good to know, good to know. I was just like, what's the difference? 12 to 13. Okay, I will do with that information what I will. So, okay, I wasn't, like, that far off. She's so big. I just really hope that she likes me when she gets older. That's the thing, like, she and I might, like, gel when she's a baby, but you never know. You never know what might happen when she gets bigger. She might think her Thea's lame and she doesn't want to hang out with her. It's a possibility. I can just imagine her being like 12 or 13 and like me picking her up from school on my day off. And she's like, Thea, like, why don't you have friends? Like, oh, Bambina, that is a loaded question, child. But I want to be like the fun aunt who like goes and picks her up and does like fun things. Adults have coworkers. Oh my gosh. Okay, a truer statement has probably never been said because legit, like I was thinking about it and I'm like, I'm friendly with my coworkers, but I wouldn't say we're friends. But, like, if something happened to one of them, like, I'd be really devastated because I love my coworkers. But, like, they're my coworkers. They're not my friends. Although Sue does text me outside of work, but it's mostly just, like, funny videos and stuff. Oh my gosh, it's Disnerd all over again. I just apparently have that relationship with people where they're just like, I'm gonna send her a funny video. So that biometric screening that happened, my boss told us, she's like, oh, are you on the company insurance? And we're like, well, yeah. We kind of got the job before the insurance. And she was like, oh, well, you need to go do, the biometric screening because our insurance does this, like, point system thing where if you do, like, these healthy activities, you get points, and then at the end, like, in September, I think, you qualify for a, like, discount on your insurance. Well, from what she had heard, if you didn't do all this, like, crazy stuff, then your insurance would actually increase by, like, 20%, and we're like, what? And I was like, that's, like, highway robbery. Like, you cannot increase somebody's insurance just for not doing these, like, extracurricular activities. So, we went to the biometric screening just to see, like, what, just to get the points if we really needed the points. But, we were walk-ins. I was like, we don't even have logins to this, like, stupid system. So, we get there, and it was me and Sue. Sue drove me. Oh, right. But I didn't know what to expect, and so I was like, what happens? And they're like, oh, they just prick your finger and take your weight and your height. I'm like, oh, geez. So I ended up with this, like, short, judgmental lady, and I am not a thin person. I'm decently tall, but, like, I am definitely more on the heavy side. And so she's sitting there, like, judging me. I'm like, and you can tell. It's, like, blatantly obvious on her face. When she did my waist measurement, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna need you to hold the tape with this hand and run it around your back with this one. And I was like, okay. So I'm holding it with my right hand, running it around my back, and she, like, makes this really big show about, like, reaching dramatically around me to grab the other end of the tape. I'm like, that's not necessary. Like, you could have just, like, reached, like, right next to me and just, like, boop. But no, she, like, made this big dramatic show about it. And she ended up having to do my blood pressure twice because the automatic machine on my right arm was reading really high. Like, my normal blood pressure, I would say, is, like, 112 over, like, 76. But I have white coat syndrome, just a little bit. I freak out around the people in the white jackets. But even then, it was reading, like, 119 over 90 something. I was like, okay, that is stupidly high. I was like, my blood pressure is not that high right now. So then she's like, let me go get something else. So she got a manual cuff and was doing my blood pressure that way, which turned out much more reasonable. I was still a little high, but like I said, I get, like, amped up. Especially after a really bad experience I had in the ER. The smell of isopropyl alcohol, but only in medical settings. Because if I smell it at home, it's fine. But if I'm in, like, a doctor's office or something and I smell isopropyl alcohol, I'll start, like, fainting. I don't know why. It's just this weird automatic response now. Anywho, I digress. So she gets my blood pressure, everything's fine, and then she, like, rubs it's like my ring finger but on my right hand with rubbing alcohol, which, bleh. And then she just takes the lancet and just, like, stabs my finger without giving me any warning, just like, whatcha! So all of a sudden I'm like, ow! And she starts, like, squeezing it out for the blood. I'm like, okay, it's not so bad. The first one was the glucose strip, and she just kind of, like, touched the tip of my finger to it. Not bad. But then I guess the one for your, like, cholesterol and stuff, like, she had to keep squeezing and filling up, like, a little pipette for it. And so she gets the sample, she puts it in it's it's weird. It's like a test strip, but it's got like a reservoir. And then she's like, okay, let's go get your height and your weight. And so I go, and she wants to do my height first. I'm like, okay. And so she does my height, and she has me get off the little height thing. And then she sits there, and she's like, okay, now if you just want to step on the scale. I was like, oh, okay, you know. I was like, do I have to take out stuff from my pockets? Because, like, I had my phone, I had a set of keys, like, I had a bunch of crap in my pockets. And she just kind of, like, looks me up and down and goes, well, it's really up to you. Like, if you really think it's going to make a difference. I'm like, ah, wench. Like, quit it. Like, I get it. Anywho, so after all of that, we get back, and she's going over my cholesterol levels. And surprisingly, like, my cholesterol is actually really good for somebody, like, for my weight. Like, my bad cholesterol is a little high, and my good cholesterol is a little low, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, like, this needs to be fixed, like, right away. Like, Sue, bless her heart, she did not expect that. Nobody expected that. Her triglycerides were almost triple what mine were. And I was like, holy crap. I'm like, Sue, what are you doing? Like, I could go get my biometric screening right now, but, like, I don't know everything that goes into it. But, like, it's a little pamphlet that you get. And they fill in all these little circles. And on the circle, there's, like, a little gauge. And it points in the directions, like, if you need, like, a higher, like, your good cholesterol, the right side was green, indicating you needed to be higher. Mine was not high enough. But, like, we went over all that. And when she was putting my glucose, because I had told her in the beginning, she was like, oh, okay, you know, are you fasting, not fasting? And I was like, well, I didn't even know I was coming today. So I was like, not fasting, I had breakfast. And she goes, oh, okay. So she's on my little pamphlet, and where it has the glucose, there's two little spheres. One for fasting, one for not fasting. So she starts marking it in the fasting one, and her eyes are kind of big. And I'm like, no. Like, I wasn't fasting. And she's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I was about to ask you if you're diabetic. And I'm like, no. I was like, not that I know of. And I'm like, what the heck? But when I looked at the chart, I was 6 points above normal blood sugar 2 hours post-meal. And I was 2 hours post-breakfast. And I was like, it was almost fine. But I had granola with a little bit of chocolate in it. Because I'm out of regular cereal. I'm out of the not sugar cereal. The rest of my cereals are fine. That one just apparently not so much. I mostly like rice checks and stuff like that. But I have decided apparently I need to start eating oatmeal for breakfast. Which, I mean, I like oatmeal, but like the time that it takes to prep oatmeal. But yeah, so that experience was really interesting this morning. I'm like, I get it. But yeah, just like that like slightly judgy look all the time. I'm like, and it's funny though, because Sue is actually like thinner looking than I am, but Sue and I have the same waist measurements. Where's my other animal? It's like, don't I have a mammoth somewhere? Oh, there it is. I was like, where's my mammoth friend? So, are you able to explain what kind? Because you had said earlier on your stream that it was a certain kind of, like, medication. Right? Like, what? I lost a mammoth? But I was just curious as to, because that's why you said that your cholesterol is bad. Which, I don't even understand, like, truly what cholesterol really, like, is or does. All I know is that like my ratios and total cholesterol was actually not that bad. That's all I know, was that when I looked at the little charts, I'm like, that's actually not bad. Especially considering the fact that like I'm not extraordinarily conscious of my diet. Like, I mean, of course I try to eat like not junk food all the time, but I was like, dang, it's actually pretty good. Do you need like sheared or something? No. Okay. Bison. Bison. Would you like to breed the bison and the bison? Okay, let's see. I just take a medication and it raises my cholesterol apparently. It's like really high when it shouldn't be. So I'm twice as strict on my diet. Oh. Okay, well, I mean, makes sense. I was just curious as to like what the medication was and like why it did that, but it's okay. I'm just nosy. And like, especially when you have food aversions, eating very healthy, it can be a challenge sometimes. Because like, I have a problem with certain vegetables. I do enjoy eating the ones that like I actually can eat. But also, even things like salads, everyone's like, oh, just eat some salads. I'm like, my stomach does not like salad. And like, without being like graphic, like if I eat a salad, I have to be at home and I cannot leave anywhere. Like, my stomach absolutely hates salad. And I don't know why. I've tried doing mixes of different greens. Like, I have tried so many different things. But really, my stomach hates salad. If I was at home, I wouldn't mind eating salad. But, like, I can't eat a salad and go to work. Like, I legit cannot. See, and I struggle with protein intake because it takes time to prepare it. And so unless I do like meal prep or stuff, I can't eat like a lot of protein during the workday. Like, if I actually took the time to like prep chicken and stuff for like lunch, I could eat it because I mean, I love chicken. But I don't ever prep things. I need to be like better with meal prep. And my problem is I like carbs. I know carbs are not good for you. I try. But yeah, my biggest problem is I need to prep more. See, and that's the thing. I understand with the dietary restrictions, because it's literally like you have to. It's not like a passing suggestion that, hey, you know, maybe like cut back on the carbs. For you, like, it's imperative that you cut back on carbs. Yeah. I feel that. But like I said, I was honestly very surprised at how good my cholesterol was in comparison to like what apparently people assumed it would be. And like my sugar was a little high, but like I said, I had a food that I don't normally eat for breakfast. Normally my granola is saved for like snacks, and I'll eat it on some yogurt. But I ran out of like my rice checks and stuff, and so that's all I had for breakfast. Okay, but rice is like so incredibly versatile. Like, you can do so much with rice. Rice is like legit just slept on. Okay, but tortillas are just amazing. Although, I mean, they do make like the carb smart tortillas and stuff. So like it's possible to have tortillas and still be lower carb. Tortillas are the best carb. And like I even felt bad about drinking this Poppy, but I'm like, okay. It only has 4 grams of sugar. And it is like there's organic cane sugar, and then there's stevia. So like, while it's still sugar, it is much less sugar than like a soda would be. And so I don't feel as bad drinking it. But honestly, like, I've been drinking nothing but straight water for so long that it's just nice to have something with flavor that's not like incredibly bad for me. And it's not bad for my kidneys. I can't have anything with like caramel color, like dark sodas or anything like that. I don't like soda to begin with, but I can't have it because that is one of like the huge contributors to kidney stones, and I don't want any more kidney stones. So I've been trying to stay away from like any sort of drinks that have like coloring in them. So clear sodas or natural sodas. This one is like pink, but it's because of the strawberry. Well, I mean, if you're only allowed like a certain amount of carbs, like just let that be, let the tortilla be your sole carbs. And then they were like talking about like fiber is really good for you. It's really good for like, you know, your blood sugar and stuff. I'm like, yay, more fiber. Like, the older you get, fiber wrecks your stomach too. So I'm like, like, okay. But I had eggs today. I had scrambled eggs. And I didn't put cheese or anything. They were plain Jane scrambled eggs. And I put a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, actually quite a decent amount of pepper, and hot sauce. But yeah, when I make scrambled eggs, I call it a dry scrambled egg because I don't want any sort of liquid running in my scrambled eggs. It's pretty much a puck of egg. And then I sit there and I like dice that puck up and eat it. I was gonna say, because didn't your doctor not want you to go above like 120 on your sugars? Oh yeah, the carbs. Carbs are the hardest thing for me to cut out. But honestly, like I said, I think if I just do better at breakfast, because my lunch and my dinners aren't usually very bad, but it's just like when I get started first thing in the morning, I need more sustainable. And see, on the little thing, it was saying that 140 is like it's like the normal acceptable range for like post meal, and I was 146. Which I get is not great. I get it. Like I said, it's not a usual occurrence for breakfast, but and everything's a work in progress. I've never had my cholesterol tested before, so I didn't know what to expect. And honestly, I was kind of expecting it to be worse than it was. Oh crap. I forgot! I think I just got distracted and ended up clicking on it. Oh. I'll just catch one of the little lowly fish. But yeah. And it was funny because at first I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm not going to want to show anybody these numbers. But like as soon as people started talking about like their biometric screening, I was like, look at mine! I'm like, what is yours? And that was the thing, everyone said like, yeah, you're surprisingly healthy. I'm like, rude. Ah, Stardew's amazing though. Like, if I ever want a game to just kind of like chill and just like have a good time, like Stardew's so cute. Yeah. And like it was some of my coworkers too, they're like, oh wow. I'm like, what were you expecting? I'm like, okay, just because I weigh this much, I'm like, I don't sit there and like drink Dr. Pepper and eat whole candy bars like all the time. Like, come on. Like, and my weight and my shape, I'm shaped like a pear. So it's like my hips are my widest part. And I'm like, I guess depending on like where you carry your weight can mean like different things. And I'm like, well, yeah. I'm like, I've always been this way. Okay, but I work with a bunch of women and most of them are on diets and or super skinny like already. So like, it is just in them to be commenting and judging. The only person who like didn't really judge me was Sue. And like I said, she couldn't say anything because her triglycerides were 3 times higher than mine. Like, can somebody Google what like the normal level of triglycerides are? Like I said, I know it wasn't good, but it wasn't as bad. I think I remember what my triglycerides were. Okay, did I just put like all the herbs in the house or something? Pretty sure I might have. But yeah, the lady like really went into like my my waist measurement. She's like, now women of a certain age, like we really want them to be have a measurement of 35 inches. I'm like, I get it, okay. Yeah, we really would like, I'm like, okay. Okay, so mine was in borderline. I mean, not really. Like, she was this short, like, she was this short older lady, and so she had, like, that, like, soft belly. But I'm like, do you really need to be like that? But, like, my triglycerides were high, but, okay. Sue was in the 300s. She was like 389. And I'm like, Sue! I'm like, you need to take better care of yourself. We were all just like trying to figure out how it even happened. Yeah, I'm like, how does something like that even happen? Okay, let's see. 6 days? We might actually have time to plant. Not bad. 8 days, 7 days. 15, 7. I'm just gonna plant some more buckwheat. like, I get, like, it's her job to talk about, like, what all the... And the thing is, I think the only thing that got me was, like, I can understand where she's coming from, because, yes, I do need to lose weight. I could be working on a few things, but, like, she didn't explain any of the numbers to me. Like, she just went on about, like, my waist size, and then just, like, straight up was like, oh, okay, here's your packet. And I was like, what does this mean? Like, I actually had to ask her, like, what the numbers meant. Because after she filled in all the numbers on her little iPad, like, she handed it to me to sign, and then there were these little areas that were like, oh, like, it highlighted it in yellow, and they're like, this is a concerning area. Like, you might need to talk to your doctor. And I was like, okay. But, like, she didn't explain anything to me. And I'm like, like, I don't know what I was like, I've never had my cholesterol checked. Like, I don't know what any of this means. No. Mental health was not discussed at all. This was purely a physical, like, sort of exam. But yeah, it was... like I said, there was just a lot of things that I was like, but like, what? What is... There's something blocking me here, and... Really? Stupid plant? Yeah, I don't know. It just... Like I said, my whole life, I've been on the bigger side, so like... It's like whenever my doctor and my nurse practitioner told me that she wanted me to go to the gastroenterologist for an endoscopy because I've had acid reflux my entire life. And she's like, well, you know, you can have some pretty nasty side effects, you know, including the erosion of, like, the lining of your esophagus. So she sent me to the gastroenterologist to get an endoscopy. Well, when I get there, I sit down in front of this guy, and he's just like, oh, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. I'm like, what? Why? Like, she ordered this test. He's like, oh, no, there's no need. You don't need that. So pretty much, lose some weight. You need to not be eating, like, within 3 hours before you go to bed. Yeah, it's probably the chocolate that does that. I'm like, what are you talking about? And, like, he's just starts going on and on and on. And I'm just like, I have had acid reflux since I was, like, 3. You're telling me that a 3-year-old who is not morbidly obese needs to lose a bunch of weight and stop eating chocolate because they have acid reflux? I'm like, I was practically born with it! And he's like, you know, eat vegetables. I'm like, vegetables give me heartburn. And, you know, eat fruit. I'm like, you're telling me to eat orange? I'm like, do you know what that will do to my stomach? And then he got mad at me because I was telling him, sometimes I forget to take, I was on omeprazole, still am, which is just for heartburn. And I was telling him, like, it's hard to remember to take my pill, like, an hour before, because, like, I already wake up early for work. And he goes, well, it's not going to help you if you're taking it wrong. You have to take it an hour before. Like, he just blamed me for everything. I'm like, I'm trying. And at that point, I was still very young. So I was still trying to get used to practically being an adult. And he's just practically, like, yelling at me and told me that they weren't going to do the procedure that the nurse practitioner ordered, that I was just doing everything wrong and that I was fat. I'm like, okay, so, you know, screw the time that I had to do a teledoc conference because my insides were burning me so bad that I was just in agony, and I tried everything to stop the heartburn and it wasn't stopping. Like, when I have flare-ups, it's just pain. Just 24/7 pain, and I can't do anything, and I was drinking antacids by the bottle, and it wouldn't stop. I have a problem with doctors. I don't go and see the doctor anymore. I haven't seen the doctor in like 4 years. Because of that. Because I'm just like, I'm tired of being told the exact same thing and nobody wants to help. So yeah, that's where we're at. Okay, I think that's genetic because I'm a side sleeper too, and I'm pretty sure like you sleep on your side sometimes too. Your doctor. So if I had somebody who was like, who I got along with and who I could like talk to and who could actually like, they're like, hey, I want to help, but like this is what you have to do. Instead of just be like, well, no, like listening to me say all these things and then just be like, no, it's not that. This is the same nurse practitioner who I told her, I was like, I'm having a lot of pain and I think it's my kidney. And I was like, I know it's probably not, but like, I do have a history of like kidney problems in my family. Like, I'm really worried. And she's like, you would not feel pain in your kidney unless you were like at the very last stages of like kidney failure. And she's like, you don't have renal failure. I'm like, you know, brain kind of thought maybe, but I was like, I didn't really think I had renal failure, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is my kidney. And then I passed a freaking kidney stone. And she didn't believe me. So sometimes, kids, just because your doctor went to medical school doesn't mean that they know everything. My poor holy kidney. This just went on like a rant about the medical service. Sorry. That's what happened today. It's just the topic of the hour. Okay. Kroll has finished building the new tool station. Oh, she finished working on an idea, and he finished working on his idea, and Era has a new idea, and Juke gave me a gift. Yay! Ugh. Sorry about that. The carbonation, like, really gets to my stomach sometimes. I try not to be loud about it. I try to be a lady. It just doesn't always happen. Let's see. Okay, but that's like, that attitude I can deal with. Having somebody who's just blatantly dismissive, like, I can't put up with that. Like, if I had a doctor who actually, like, talked to me and who helped me, like, understand and who actually, like, worked with me, like, I could totally be more, like, approving of healthcare. But it's just like having, and especially like that mental health factor, like just having a doctor who acknowledges things and also like acknowledges the work that you do. Because like at one point I was really trying hard and like I wasn't seeing very many results, but like I was trying, you know, to work on it and, you know, talking to them about it, like, they just, like, were completely dismissive. They're, like, pretty much, well, you're not doing a good enough job. I'm like, I'm honestly trying, and it's so discouraging, because you're like, well, if the doctor's just gonna keep yelling at me, like, what's the point? I have a love-hate relationship with, like, all things. But yeah, I haven't been to see a doctor in, like, many years. Audio. I watched a movie the other day, and I was like, I'm pretty sure this was one of Audio's, like, favorite movies at one point. I was watching Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. I was like, I'm pretty sure that she really loved that movie at one point. Am I correct, or am I misremembering? Okay, so. And of course, there go Mimi and Tony. Hi, Kroll! Ooh, look at it. It's so nice. Kroll can be such a grump. Well, I love him so much. Aw. I love their relationships. Like, ugh, my husband. I love him. Okay, let's see. I was gonna say, I think I already have the obsidian. Okay, so the copper is what we can improve. Because we had obsidian, now we can get copper. Okay, so that is 40 copper. That's a lot. Okay. I couldn't remember. I was watching it the other day. I was like, that's actually a pretty cute movie. We only have 27 copper. Have we unlocked... I need to like double check because I was like, I saw it down here. Okay, we have unlocked it. So instead of having to go all the way up to the forest, I can just come in here. Okay, where? Oh, crap. This was the problem. Let me go see how much copper is needed for the sickle because we couldn't progress any further without the leveled up sickle. Because we need to cut through that, like, really tough grass. Do I even have a sickle? I don't even know. 30. Okay, so we're actually pretty close to being able to afford that. Because I think we had, what, 26? Honestly, though, one of my obsessions is Howl's Moving Castle now. The book was so interesting, though. Like, I love their relationship in the book. It's so cute. And really funny, and really just embodies the two of them, because literally they spend most of their time fighting. And he's seriously just like, something's going wrong. Sophie, what did you do? Oh my gosh, I love them. They're just the best. Okay, bye Disnerd. Have a good one. Snuggle the Bombino for me. I mean, that sounds interesting. People's learning styles are very interesting because, like, the way that one person learns is completely not even applicable to how another person learns. Like, learning my learning styles, because they actually did a test when I was a kid, and they had everyone do it, but you get to learn, like, how you best learn. And it really helped me, especially, like, later, like, in high school and stuff, because I'm like, I need to do X, Y, Z to actually be able to, like, absorb this content. But then other people are completely different. So, yes, learning styles are quite fascinating. Like, it really helped me understand myself because my main one was visual. It was like something like 65% visual, and then a hefty portion of it, I wouldn't say 65. It was probably like, my visual and tactile was very high, but my audio was actually very low, like my auditory learning. So if I just hear something, I have to really, really focus on it, and I have a harder time retaining information that's just given like verbally. But if it's something like if I can see it done and then like do it myself, I retain it so much better. And then if I actually have all three, that is how I master things, is if I can see it, hear it, and do it at the same time. Oh, it was hardwood. 25 hardwood. But like, so that's why I was a really, really intense note taker, because I had to have notes. And the process of writing it down ingrained it in my brain. And it actually gave me like a, not eidetic memory, but like I can remember something I wrote and I can see it in my mind. So when I was doing notes, if I did them really well, I could remember what I had done. And it helped me like connect different concepts. And I was like, oh, okay. Or like, weirdly enough, when I'm reading a book, if I'm reading the book and like I can remember where it was. So like if I close a book by accident, I can remember what side of the page it was on and where it was at. And like if I hold the book shut and look at it on the spine, I can kind of remember where, like, what the thickness was like on each side. See, and that's the thing. Some people, notes is like not their thing. But me, like, very in-depth note taking and just like hearing the information and copying it down really helped me. Just the more ways that I put something into my brain, the better it stuck, and that was definitely one of them. Because for me, that's a visual and a tactile, so putting them together was just like, yeah, like, I got this. But yeah, if I just listen to something, all of a sudden comprehension goes out the window, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, audiobooks? No. No. I can't. Oddly enough, if somebody, like, if a person, like, I had teachers who read us stories and stuff, and I had a better time with that, but I think it's because they would also, like, we'd talk about it afterwards, and so it kind of helped solidify what I had heard. But if I just hear something, oh, heck no. I'm one of those people who, like, voicemails I have to listen to, like, 7 times. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, okay, pen and paper, write down this information. What were they trying to tell me? It's like they're trying to speak to me. I know it. I do be a struggling. Good to see you again. Long ago, this land was sacred to our people before those Mograni threw it out of balance. Oh my gosh, you people! Quit hating each other! When I was young, I didn't want to believe the loss of our land was their fault. But then my niece had to be rescued from one of them when she was only 7 springs old. The sweet girl still thinks that man was trying to help her, but he burned her. And praise Loon, we found her in time. Who knows what else might have happened. Inza told me she warned you about them, but maybe you can get them to become more civilized and return some balance to this land. I'll ask Loon to protect you in any way she can. How about you people stop hating each other and realize that, like, maybe it was an accident. You didn't even want to hear the whole story. You saw what happened and immediately was like, you assumed bad intentions. being hateful. But yes, anywho, I find learning styles fascinating. When I was at that conference, one of the ladies was teaching us, like, breathing techniques, and we were going over them, and, like, one of them was just, like, the open breathing, like, you just kind of, like, just kind of in, out. More just, like, focusing on, like, being calm, more than, like, counting your breaths or anything. And, like, I really liked open breathing. But then there was, like, what was it, like, listening breathing, and I hated it. Like, oh my gosh, like, it actually made me angry listening to all the sounds that were around me. But other people absolutely loved it. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? But it was like, everyone has a different style. Everyone likes different things. People's brains do different things. Trying to explain how my brain works. Best of luck. But yeah, it's just different people. But seriously though, I don't understand how anybody likes the listening breathing. And then like this square breathing, like I couldn't do a square. Like I pictured the square in my head, but for some odd reason, I'm like, it just, like, I can't get the hang of it. Like, it's just too long. And so I had to, like, modify it to where it was, like dots. I'm like, okay, like, connect. So, like, each side of the square had, like, a dot in the corner and then one dot in the middle. So I was, like, counting when I was breathing, which just kind of distracted me. I was like, I don't think I'm doing this breathing thing right. But yeah, it was interesting hearing, like, what people liked and what people didn't. I'm like, okay, some people, it's not for me, but, like, if you like it, like, whatever floats your boat. So, Audio, what would you say, like, your preferred learning style is? Are you more like visual, tactile, auditory? You can take some like free tests online, but it's really just like focusing on how you connect with source material. Because, okay, like, say you're given a task. Like, okay, say you are given a cutting board and a potato. And somebody tells you, like, cut the potato into cubes. And you're like, okay, well, like, what kind of cubes? So, would it be easier to watch somebody do it? Or would it be easier for you if you heard somebody describe how to do it? Like, that's really what it is how you best absorb information. Or like, you know, tactile, like, do you have to actually just do it? I'm just making like all sorts of messes up here. So like me, the way that I learn best. See, there you go. It's just how you best do learn things. And I feel like tactile really, like, goes hand in hand with either visual or auditory, because if you're learning how to do something, then it's like, the instructions. Like, how do you best take the instructions? Because for me, if I can see it and hear it, like, if I can see somebody doing it and hear them, like, talk about it, and I'm doing it at the same time, that is the best way for me to learn. If it's just, like, if I'm listening to a recording of how to do it, and I'm trying to, like, do it at the same time, I'm like, wait, is this what they meant? Or is that what they meant? Like, then things get a little wonky topsy-turvy. So, like, I think that's one thing that people don't talk about. I was like, did I not build a granary? I thought I did. I did. It's over there. So yeah, that's really all it is, you know, how do you best utilize instructions and use instruction. I think that's why I like crochet tutorials, because, like, on YouTube, I can see them doing it, I can hear them talk about it, and I can do it by myself. So that's what, like, really solidifies certain, like, crochet stitches for me. It's like, okay, I've seen it done, I heard them talk about it, and I've done it. So putting that all together is like, yes, big brain time. Not bad on the money. Okay, well, we got the thingamajigger. The sickle. So hopefully in the next episode, we will get the sickle and be able to cut that tall grass and be able to progress farther in the mines. So that's exciting. I'm kind of curious as to if anybody else is streaming right now. We've been kind of doing a lot of raids lately, so let's go check. Ooh, okay, there's Candy or Pander. I think we, out of the two of them, I think we rated Pander last. See, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, figured it out. Okay, but I think we're gonna go raid Candy. So, thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be back tomorrow with another episode of my Discord Member's Choice. But until then, I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of their evening, get some good sleep, and I hope to see you guys then. Bye! Get ready to raid! Might help if I actually clicked start raid. Okay. But everyone go say hi to Candy. Have a good night. Bye!